Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. And in today's video, it is finally time. The final shoe of the Damian Lillard saga has officially dropped, and Jrue Holiday has gotten traded to the Boston Celtics. So as I'm sure many of you know, I am a Celtics fan, and I will give you more of my thoughts on the trade once we get into the video, but just in case you didn't know, I will read you off the trade. The Celtics are sending center Robert Williams III and guard Malcolm Brogdon in the deal. A 2024 first-round pick via Golden State and a 2029 first-round pick is also heading to the Blazers. Now, obviously, this is major news. It is a complete arms race right now in the Eastern Conference between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. It feels like they're just kind of going punch for punch. And honestly, these are without a doubt right now the best two rosters in the Eastern Conference. So going to be a very, very exciting season here in the NBA. A lot has changed. The landscape of the East is relatively similar, but both of the best teams have gotten a little bit better. And I don't mean any disrespect to the Heat rosters, though. I think the Celtics and the Bucks definitely have the two best. So that's not to say they're the only two teams that can win, but I definitely think they have the best two rosters. And yeah, man, crazy, crazy moves. And as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. I can tell you guys for certainty tomorrow is going to be a Portland Trailblazers rebuild. We have been waiting to do the Blazers since the Damian Lillard trade, and obviously now that it has happened and everybody's been moved, we can probably go ahead and do it. Now, maybe they still move Malcolm Brogdon, who knows, but I think it's time to do a Blazers rebuild, so we'll do that one tomorrow. But yeah, man, I'm very excited as a Celtics fan. We'll get into more of my thoughts once we do get into this video, but crazy, crazy year coming up in the NBA. Let's get into this one. So first and foremost, I want to start off this video by just going over my thoughts as a Celtics fan, not the NBA creator that I am, whatever you want to call me. As a Celtics fan, I am happy. I think Jrue Holiday is an upgrade at our point guard spot. He really could be a very important piece for this team come playoff time. And again, he's probably the fourth scoring option on this team. So by no means is he coming in here to have, a number two role or anything like that. But again, I think the biggest thing with a deal like this is if you're going to make a trade and you're going to sacrifice Robert Williams in the deal, who is such a defensive anchor for you in the paint, obviously did have his share of injury problems, you have to make sure you get an extension done. This deal cannot be a rental. You can't give up 2 first-round picks, an unbelievably talented defensive center when happy, and the reigning sixth man of the year for a guy that you're going to have for one season. That's just kind of my thought process on that. I know they're obviously working towards an extension, but we've seen time and time again teams make trades. They work on extensions, something doesn't work out, whatever it may be, and then all shit goes to terrible. It just goes terribly. So I'm hoping that the Celtics and Jrue can finalize an extension. That would really make me much happier. But yeah, man, I was hurt. I was really hurt seeing Robert Williams get traded. I love Robert Williams, and yeah, it's definitely going to be something that the Celtics have to keep a lot of focus on this season because he's a really big defensive presence in the paint. So let's go over the roster. Obviously, Jrue Holiday now here has a player option next season. In all likelihood, will decline it. He's 33 years old. He's still one of the best defensive guards in the league, whether you like him or hate him or whatever it is. But he's an 87 overall. Will obviously be here for the entirety of today's video. Peyton Pritchard is here. Delano Banton is here. Peyton Pritchard actually at one point in time requested a trade, and Brad Stevens was just like, hell no, you're going to stay on this team. Kind of fucking hilarious because he traded pretty much everybody else. But yeah, I mean, Peyton Pritchard obviously can shoot the three ball a little bit. He's definitely a liability on defense. Delano Banton a little bit bigger at 6'7", hopefully make up some of that ground at least. But we will see. Jaylen Brown is here, obviously signed to the largest contract extension in NBA history this offseason, or was that technically Anthony Davis in terms of AAV, but whatever. Celtics gave Jaylen Brown $300 million, so hopefully he starts learning how to dribble left. We will see. You have Derek White here as well, All-NBA second team for defense last year, All-NBA defensive, whatever the hell he's called, is here. I love Derek White. He's a complete staple of this team. In all likelihood, would have been the starting point guard if Jrue Holiday was not traded here. And I'll go over my rotation. It's going to be a little bit different than what 2K thinks it's going to be. Obviously, Jason Tatum, number 4 in the MVP voting last year. He's top 7, 8, 9, 10 player in the world, whatever you want to call him. No chance he's going anywhere. He's the face of the franchise. Sam Hauser is here. He's a good three-point shooter. Not much besides that. Svi Mikhail, they ended up signing this offseason. Maybe another guy that can stretch the floor a little bit, shoot that three ball. Power forward spot, Kristaps Porzingis. Obviously, that was kind of the first major Celtics trade of this offseason. They already got an extension with him done. Obviously, they lost Marcus Smart in the Porzingis trade, though. That one's still going to hurt for a while. They have Al Horford, old man Al, kind of a good locker room guy and definitely a still viable option on this team. He's kind of our big man presence at this point in terms of who will probably be playing center for us. It's going to be interesting. Lamar Stevens is here. They signed him from Cleveland this offseason. And then Jordan Walsh they took in the second round, who actually has shown a little bit of promise so far. Center spot looks ugly right now. I can promise you none of these guys are going to be starting at center for me. They signed Wenyen Gabriel, who I know is just a huge energy guy. Going to be excited to see what he brings to the table. Luke Cornett. Luke 7 foot for nothing. Cornett, I might add. And then Neemias Queta is here as well. So it's interesting. I don't know if I'm making any major trades. We're obviously going to shake up the rotation a little bit. No disrespect to any of these guys. There's no way in hell any of them are starting. So let's move around some positions, maybe a small trade or two. We're making a trade here with the Miami Heat, funny enough. And yeah, we're going to be picking up Josh Richardson. He's going to be our new backup shooting guard. He will be coming off the bench. We're sending Luke 7-foot-for-nothing Cornette and Svi Mikhail, along with a future second-round pick to Miami for Josh Richardson and Justin Champagne. I don't know. I can't pronounce names. But Josh Richardson, former Celtic, actually, is going to be coming in here. He's a little bit of an upgrade off this bench. I think he's going to be relatively important because, yeah, this bench depth isn't amazing right now. So I did go ahead and move around some positions. This is what I'm assuming the starting five will be in real life. I think it's going to be Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis. I think Horford, in all likelihood, will be coming off the bench. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, I think there's maybe one more trade I want to make. I'd like to upgrade this team as best as I possibly can. So maybe getting somebody a little bit better, either behind Tatum or Brown, whoever it is. I don't need anything major, but something small. And with our final trade before we start year one, we're sending Delano Banton and Justin Champagne, I don't know, and a future second-round pick to Dallas. Derek Jones Jr. and Joe Wieskamp are going to be coming back here. Derek Jones Jr. is going to be an upgrade at the backup power forward spot. It's a small upgrade. It's nothing crazy, but we didn't give up a lot, and we'll just have Lamar Stevens come off the bench. So Jordan Walsh is going to spend some time in the G League. I think that'll benefit him. I would like to get him into the rotation eventually, but other than that, we are all set. Let's set this rotation. We're ready to go here for the first season in Boston. The starting five is obviously looking incredible. The bench is still a little bit weak, and I'm definitely a little bit nervous, but I am excited to see what this team can do. So Jrue Holiday, Derek White, obviously just an incredible backcourt, especially defensively. It's going to be very, very exciting. See how these two actually fit together in real life. Jaylen Brown here at the 3, Tatum at the 4, Kristaps Porzingis here at the 5. Bench unit is going to be led by Al Horford, Josh Richardson, Derek Jones Jr., Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser. So obviously hurting a little bit, especially in the lower end of this bench. Again, I don't think it's going to matter as much, obviously, come playoff time, but you still have to have a 10, 11, 12-man rotation for the regular season. So hopefully they work that out in real life. And again, I think, as I mentioned, I think there's a couple different variations of the starting five they can kind of go about. I think in all likelihood it's going to be more matchup dependent than anything. Like, I think if they're probably going out there and playing like the Sixers or the Bucks, I think likely that Horford's in the starting five just for Embiid and Giannis. And obviously that's like, I don't know, throwing a bottle of water on a house fire. It's not exactly going to do much, but it's hopefully going to limit it. So I think this is going to be the traditional starting five, but I think Horford will definitely get some minutes in there when we do see some of the bigger teams. So yeah, man, I'm super excited to see how this team kind of fits together, at least according to 2K. Obviously, extremely talented group. Hopefully a championship. I'd like Banner 18 in Boston. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. Joel Embiid wins an MVP here in year 1, so technically that would be back-to-back MVPs for Mr. Embiid. We go 63-19 on the year. That is just a beautiful first season record. Obviously, we haven't made any major changes. Not that this roster really needs any major change, but you know what I'm saying. I'll take it. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year, CP3 6-man. Giannis is your depoy. Paul Reed, Most Improved. Steph Curry, Clutch Player of the Year. And Joe Mazzulla wins Coach of the Year. Joe Mazzulla actually has some really bad ratings in this game, so hopefully he's a good enough head coach, according to 2K, for us to, win a championship. So we're the 1 seed here in the East. Milwaukee 4. I thought they'd be 2 for sure. But, yeah, Philadelphia and Miami, obviously, in this scenario. James Harden is still a 76er. And, yeah, I mean, he is in real life right now. And we're waiting. I just saw a tweet saying he's not going to be attending Media Day. Here's a look at the Western Conference. And then let's check out the numbers on the year, see how everybody played in terms of points per game and everything like that. So Tatum and Brown, obviously kind of the elite duo on this team in terms of scoring. Porzingis, really solid third option. Jrue Holiday, really solid fourth option. Derek White, Josh Richardson, Pritchard, Jones, Horford. In terms of rebounds, it was Tatum, and assist was Jrue Holiday. So, round 1, best record in the league. Heading into the playoffs, we have Toronto here in the first round of the playoffs. Ricky Rubio, starting point guard. Interesting. OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Jakob Poeltl. This Raptors team's in a weird spot right now, man. They really are. Masai Ujiri is, I think he thinks his players are much better than they actually are. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. I'm happy you're, super high on your guys, but there's some reports that I've seen are pretty crazy. All right, we have a second round matchup that's obviously pretty fun for many reasons. Celtics and the Bucks have had many, very fun games, very fun series over the past few years. And, obviously Jrue Holiday going against his old team. The emergence of Damian Lillard and Giannis against the Celtics. And, this Bucks team is pretty good. So let's see what happens here in round number 2, the Eastern Conference semifinals. Excuse me. We are currently 2-2 right now with the Bucks. We go up 3-2, and we are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Look at the Sixers getting out of the second round. Harden, Maxey, Harris, Tucker, Embiid. You got Oubre off the bench, DeAnthony Melton, Paul Reed, Patrick Beverley is there. So let's see what happens here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We actually go down 2-0 to Philadelphia. Not a good start. We're down 3-1 at the moment, and we get bounced in 5 by the Sixers. Sixers finally get a little bit of revenge. They get out of the second round. They're in the finals. And Joel Embiid averages 44, 12, and 5 and wins the finals MVP. Holy shit. So much for that playoff dropper reputation. All right. LeBron calls it a career after 21 seasons. Oh my God, I'm not ready for that day. Popovich calls it after 32 years in the league. Hall of Fame inductees, obviously LeBron James. Jersey retirements, cool. And then draft lottery time. So obviously the Celtics are not going to have any lottery picks coming up. And it is what it is. There's a look at your top 5. Oh, the Hawks were bad? That kind of surprises me. Steph signing. I love Joe Mazzulla. Those ratings are just brutal. Like, I just don't know about that. I mean, I don't necessarily think he's the greatest coach in the world. I don't know if those ratings are really appropriate. But I'm going to move on just because I want a coach with like really good ratings. I think today would be a great time to try to get Jacob Underwood. I've gotten Stauffer a lot recently, and Jacob Underwood definitely doesn't have the greatest ratings, but they're definitely much better than what Joe Mazzulla just had. So very excited to have Jacob Underwood here as our new head coach. Let's head up to the draft and see what we have. We have the 20. Oh, wait, what? All right, well, 2K didn't update that. They definitely should have. They put through the Jrue Holiday trade. I didn't do that manually, so Celtics do not have this Warriors pick. I'm obviously going to send it over there. I actually don't have access to the 2029 first yet. I'll send it over there once I do get it. So let me just trade this pick over to the Warriors, and I will be right back. Oh, Warriors, the Trailblazers, excuse me. We went ahead and made that trade, so we're all set there. We do have the 29th overall pick. We also have the 24th in round 2 from the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I think this is a situation where I wouldn't mind maybe making a trade. Again, I think this team is good. It would just have a little bit of aging talent. Like Al Horford's 38. I'm actually surprised he didn't retire. I'm probably going to trade him. He's going to be like a 78 overall to start next year. Our bench already isn't very good. I'd rather capitalize on what we could do. So in real life, I wouldn't do this because it's a little bit different. I do want to see Big Al get a ring with Boston. Unfortunately, 2K, I don't really give a shit. So let's see some offers here. Vita Zubac would definitely be welcomed. I actually think that might be the trade that I do take. He's younger. And yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that. Because along with that, we also get a first-round pick. So let's make this trade here with the Clippers. Vita Zubac and a first-round pick swap in 2025. I love you, Big Al. I just think you're going to regress too much. And yeah, we have Vita Zubac, who's definitely a little bit younger. And definitely also helps the rotation a little bit. So at this point in time, I do not believe we have any other draft picks this year in 2024. We do not. Let's head up to team player options right now in terms of, Jrue Holiday, Josh Richardson. I'm going to bring back Sam Hauser, but obviously getting a Jrue Holiday contract kind of done right now is definitely number one on my bucket list in terms of priority. So bird rights, Jrue Holiday, let's just give you like a $30 million AAV, and Peyton Pritchard, we'll wait on you. All right, so that's cool there. In terms of filling out the rest of this bench, I think there's definitely some other guys I wouldn't mind going out and getting. Obviously, we're kind of losing the majority of this bench right now, but I did want to make sure we get Jrue Holiday back, and obviously that was my number one priority. So let's take a bear look at this roster right now and just, oh yeah, all of its glory. Honestly, Jordan Wall's getting playing time next year. He is. I'm going to play him. I don't care if it doesn't work out or not. He's getting playing time. Other than that, we do need to find ourselves some backup guards. So let's just look at our options. Oh, boy. Pat Beverly, just a little old. Kemba Walker, Celtics legend. Chris Dunn wouldn't be bad. A little more defensive focused. Not a terrible idea. Alec Burks. I know him and Jason Tatum are actually good friends. Screw it. Let's bring in Alec Burks. He is 33, but again, he's a 77 overall, and he's going to be a bench piece. That's not too bad. And then in terms of the point guard spot, you know what? I guess we're bringing back Peyton Pritchard. God. We will focus on the bench a little bit more next season. I think for now we're good. We're comfortable with this team. And yeah, some other decisions will be made. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. So the game actually signed Isaiah Roby for me, and obviously Sam Hauser's here. We picked up his team option. We're making a trade with New York. We're sending we're sending Roby and Hauser over for Jordan Nwora and a future second-round pick. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of his name, but he's a little bit of an upgrade. He's going to be my new my new backup small forward. Hopefully his overall does. Yeah, he actually goes up to a 78. Wow, that's awesome. All right, cool. So that's great. I still have not set the rotation. Let me do that real quick, and I will be back. After getting embarrassed by the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, we are back for year 2 and hopefully a championship season. As you can see, we're seeing a little bit of regression out of Jrue Holiday. That's unfortunate, but he's going to be here the entire video. The video's about him. There's no way I'm moving on. Derek White here at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Jason Tatum at the 4, Porzingis as our starting center. Bench unit is going to be led by Vita Zubac, Jordan Nwora, Alec Burks, Peyton Pritchard, and Jordan Walsh will be getting minutes now. So excited to see how this team does. Obviously, the bench still isn't great. If we don't win a championship this year, it'll be something we focus on this offseason, but I'm excited. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. Number 2. 69-13 to wrap up year 2. That is obviously great, but we had a really good record last year as well in 63-19. and it didn't mean shit. So hopefully it does this year, and we play better in the playoffs. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your MVP. Stephon Cassell, Rookie of the Year. He's in DC. CP3, oh my God, he's in his Tony Parker era. Good Lord. Evan Mobley is your DPOY. Brandon Miller, Most Improved. De'Aaron Fox, Clutch Player of the Year. Jacob Underwood, our rookie head coach, Coach of the Year. So obviously, all good. It was all good last year, though. Yeah, best record in the league, which is obviously great. Let's take a look at the stats and see who played well, see who did not. Tatum and Brown, obviously good. Porzingis, Holiday, Derek White, Vita Zubac, Alec Burks, Noah, Pritchard, Walsh. Cool. Rebounds was Tatum, and assists was Jrue Holiday. So, it is time for the playoffs. Once again, let's take a look. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers here in round one. They're good, a little bit younger than us, besides Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, actually. And yeah, let's just sim through this real quick. All right, cool. Charlotte here in round at number 2. LaMelo Ball, Justin Edwards, Brandon Miller, Washington, Mark Williams, CP3. Herb Jones. Herbert Jones is a really good pickup for them. I like Herb Jones quite a bit. All right, I think this team is definitely beatable. We should be on our way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we have not lost a game yet. And we have the Toronto Raptors here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Lonzo Ball's a new addition. Devin Vassell, Scotty Barnes, Boucher. So they lost Siakam. They're still here. All right, good for you. I think we're the better team. I don't really think there's much doubting that, and we are currently up 2-1 against them. Make that 3-1 and make that a finals appearance. And who are we going to be facing? We're going to be facing De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings. Interesting matchup here. Fox, Monk, Mackenzie Mbako, Keegan Murray, Sabonis, Mitchell Robinson, oh my God, I forgot Al Horford. Wait, what? No. I traded him to the Clippers, didn't I? Oh, old man Al is probably out for some revenge right now. Don't do this to us, Al. We are 1-1 right now with the Kings. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1, and I'd like to close it out here at TD Garden in Game 5. That would obviously be great. So let's just sim through this real quick. Hopefully we hold a lead. I'll get a little bit of gameplay as well. That would be awesome, and yeah, we're going to be winning this one. So that's obviously great. I'll see you guys in there. We'll get a few shots up. We'll talk about this team. All right, so we're here at TD Garden. We're about to close out the finals. Obviously awesome that we're going to be winning one here in year 2, kind of alleviate some of that pressure. But yeah, I mean, in terms of this Celtics team, I think an issue, at least regular season, that hurts. At least regular season-wise, is just going to be the depth. And again, it's kind of sucky, and it is what it is, but that's what happens. I mean, you're kind of going all in. You obviously, this offseason has been a tough one for Celtics fans, losing a lot of fan favorites with Marcus Smart and Robert Williams and, Porzingis. And, I mean, Grant Williams was a big loss, too. I think he was really important defensively. As long as he's not handling the basketball, he's relatively pretty good, or getting in Jimmy Butler's face. Good Lord. But yeah, I mean, it was time for a change kind of with the core. I mean, again, the team was obviously good, and they had always been really, really good. But they could just never get over that final hump. I mean, so close in the 2022 NBA Finals, obviously never really got all the way to actually winning the damn thing. But, you know, you play for championships. You don't play to be a good team every year. And I'm really hoping that this team can do it this year, because I like the talent. We have quite a bit. So the rotation's obviously going to be fine come playoff time. I'm a little bit nervous for some potential injuries. I mean, Porzingis scares me with his injury history a little bit. I'm a little nervous about Al Horford and his old age. So I'm definitely a little nervous. I mean, it's not without risk that, you know, that's obvious. But again, every team has risk, especially with championship contenders. So I am excited. I think Jrue Holiday is going to be a very, very welcomed addition. I think he's going to fit this. Oh, shit, that's a bad pass. That's my fault. I think he's going to fit this team very, very well. I really do. I think he's the kind of like point guard that we truly, really do need. Him and Derek White are obviously going to be incredible defensively. And other than that, there's really not too much else to say. You just got to go out and win it. So it sucks about Malcolm Brogdon. I know he was pissed that he I think I saw the story. I kind of forget who wrote it. It was somebody in the Boston Globe, I think. But basically just saying that, you know, Brogdon was, pissed about how the Celtics handled his injury, which I thought was interesting. I don't know. I'm not really sure what he was pissed about with that. I mean, if you're hurt to play, I don't know. Other than that, I know he was pissed about the fact that as soon as Marcus Smart got traded, that the Celtics basically came out and said that Derek White was going to be starting. So I'm happy that Malcolm's going to get a fresh start somewhere. I don't know if he's going to actually stay in Portland. I probably suspect they flip him to somebody else and get even more assets. I want to say a great job by the Portland Trailblazers in terms of the return they got for Damian Lillard. It's a ton of assets, some good young pieces. I'm excited to see how Ayton fits with that team. Robert Williams is incredible when he's healthy. And, yeah, obviously some draft picks as well. So really good job on the Dame return. I know some people were criticizing them for not actually sending him to Miami. But I think they did probably the best offer they were going to get in terms of everything else. And they may still get more assets from Malcolm Brogdon. So who knows? But excited for this new era of Celtics basketball, man. Obviously, you still have the main two of Tatum and Brown here. But anytime you kind of go and make some big trades in the offseason, it's a new team, it's a new dynamic. So very, very good. We're going to wrap this one up here. We'll do one more possession here. And other than that, I don't really have much else to say. Championship here in year 2 is great. All right, we're not sitting through this. I'll see you guys with the finals MVP. We win it all in year 2 as Jaylen Brown is your finals MVP. Good for you, JB. Way to bounce back. All right, so that's a championship in year 2. Obviously, we still have 1 year to go, and we're hoping we can still win another one. I mean, I definitely don't want to just stop the video right now. Draft lottery, don't think we're going to have any picks here. Let's just sim through this. And, yeah, it's going to be the Spurs, the New York Knicks. Wow, I'm surprised you were that bad. All right, staff signing. We're obviously good with Jake Bunderwood. Just coached us up to a championship. I hope it's Joe Mazzulla in real life, but again, he had pretty poor ratings, so we had to move on. Up to the draft. We have the 29th overall pick, the 30th overall pick, and then a pick in round 4. Could we improve this bench a little bit? I think it is definitely possible. Let's see what we can find. We're going to be sending Alec Burks and our 2 first-round picks this year to the Charlotte Hornets for PJ Washington. He's going to be an improvement off the bench. He's going to be backing up Jason Tatum. Nothing wrong with Jordan Walsh or anything like that. Unfortunately, he's just not really progressing well in the game. So we're just going to flip this for some future seconds. Cool with me. We're not going to draft anybody in today's video. Team player options. Tatum declines. He's obviously a very important one. Have to make sure we get him back, and I do want to get Derek White back as well. So, and Zubac. So, first and foremost, looks like the Milwaukee Bucks are trying to lure Tatum. Go fuck yourselves. He's our franchise player. Let me have this one. Thank you very much, hopefully. Anyways, I want to get Derek White back, and then I can't obviously let Zubac walk for nothing. So, cool. We got all 3 back. Absolutely beautiful. It's exactly what I was looking for. And then other than that, I might try to improve the bench just a little bit more. There's going to be nothing else major. We're obviously going to see a little bit of regression out of Jrue Holiday. He'll probably be around an 81, 82, which sucky, but it is what it is. Jordan Nora is good here. Obviously just added PJ Washington. We're good with Zubac. So Jordan Walsh now going to get traded for some sort of backup guard. And then who else could we sign here? Wouldn't maybe mind bringing in Chris Duarte. Malik Beasley's also here. Yeah, let's bring in Chris Duarte. Welcome to the team. He's going to be my new backup shooting guard. So we're just going to upgrade our backup point guard option at this point. We still obviously have some draft picks left, but I don't need anything major. So Pritchard, we're also going to include Walsh. I would never probably do this in real life. And yeah, we're also just going to go ahead and try to see if we can find a better backup point guard. I mean, I'm just looking. They're only making about $6 million combined. Jalen Hood-Schifino might be a pretty good option. He might be. Yeah, he's going to be my guy. Welcome to the team, Jalen. All right, we're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the final year. After a 69-win season where we won it all, we are back here for the final regular season in Boston. We can see a little bit of regression here on Jrue Holiday. We knew it was coming. It's obviously sad to see. It's his video. I'm not obviously moving him. Him and Derek White remain our backcourt. Brown here at the 3, Tatum at the 4, Porzingis at the 5. Bench unit of Zubac. Jordan Nora, new addition here, and Jalen Hood-Schifino. PJ Washington, a new addition, and Chris Duarte, a new addition as well. So we've really made some improvements to the bench. I'm excited. I really am. I'll see you guys at the end of the final year. Luka Doncic averages a triple-double and wins an MVP here at the end of our final regular season. We win 65 games. Obviously, that's great. I'm feeling good. I mean, 65-17 is never a record I would complain about. Not as good as last year, but still a very good record. Cooper Flagg's Rookie of the Year. He is in New York. Amen Thompson, 6th Man of the Year in Houston. Triple J wins his 2nd career DPOY. Isaiah Collier, Most Improved. Donovan Mitchell is a Milwaukee Buck and he's your Clutch Player of the Year. Jacob Underwood, Coach of the Year. Well, I'll say this. I'm hoping they still don't have Dame and Giannis, because if they also have Donovan Mitchell, we are royally fucked. Let's take a look at the standings real quick, and maybe not, because they didn't even make the playoffs. What the fuck? Seriously, this backcourt wins 28 games together? You could put me out there. They're not winning 28. They'll win more than 28 games. That's insane. All right, let's take a look at the stats on the season and see who did well. I'm sure everybody did. Here's obviously kind of the big 3 in terms of scoring, big 4, whatever you want to call it. Everything's good. Everything's on the up and up, and yeah, this team's still very, very good. Number 1 seed for the 3rd straight season is going to be the Indiana Pacers. Halliburton, Mathurin, Hield, Walker, Turner. I think they're still very much sweepable, and yeah, we do just that. Moving on to Cleveland. Definitely a team that is a little bit more challenging, and they've added Giannis. They lost Donovan Mitchell, but replaced him for Giannis. Fuck. I mean, good God. They also lost Evan Mobley, it looks like, but still, man, that team's insane. Okay. I guess they're not good enough. Charlotte Hornets here in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think we played them in round 2 last year. They've obviously made an improvement in an addition of Evan Mobley. Also have Aaron Gordon now coming off the bench, Isaac Okoro. Fuck. I mean, that team is very, very good. Let's see what ends up happening here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We go down 3-1. Wow. Game 7, and we lose. God damn it. All right, so we're not going to win more than 1 championship in today's video. I mean, that Hornets team is insane, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, obviously, I kind of wanted to just see kind of how the simulation looked with Jrue Holiday and in the Celtics uniform, and I'm very excited to see how he ends up looking at it in real life. I think he's going to look very, very good. I'm excited. I really am. So, yeah, man, I kind of gave you my thoughts on the Jrue Holiday to Boston trade. Obviously, I'm excited. It's going to be a crazy season upcoming in the NBA. Obviously, we're still waiting for a James Harden trade to unfold at some point. Who the hell knows when that's going to happen? And yeah, not much other than that. So tomorrow's going to be a Blazers rebuild. I'm going to go over everything that they've done. I think they've done a lot of things really well. So excited for it. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know your thoughts on this trade down below as well. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.